OK podcast.
Oh, it was real simple. We were talking about all the good things that are happening around this time. Well, it is, well, shoot, getting close to June gloom and all that fun stuff.
And then the hot summer nights
And then
where you
the
have to roll around and make sure you got a
hot
cold
summer
blanket.
nights.
Yeah.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I got a new microphone, so I'm trying to see if this sounds any better. Put down in the comments that you think this is a better microphone or not, or it just straight sucks.
It sounds all right.
I should probably take it back. Damn it, Gabe.
Did you save the receipt?
It's on Amazon, so all I have to do is just return it.
You know what's funny about Amazon?
Oh, crap.
All right. And I'm not saying to do this, but I did save quite a bit of money because of my
Addiction.
So I bought that. I think I told you that Spinosaurus, right? That Hammond collection a long time ago. That dinosaur figure.
Yeah.
In the hopes of like, well, I really want it. And then I saw what it was going for. And I was like, maybe I should sell it. And then I had that buyer's remorse. I was like, maybe I should return it. And so I went through all these phases of purchasing an item. And I said, all right, well, I'll just return it. So Amazon, when you're returning an item, it'll just then say, you know what? We don't want your shit. Go ahead. You know what? You can keep it. We'll give you 30% off if you keep it. So they're like, we'll refund you X amount of money that you paid, and you can keep the item. No need to return it. So what I do?
Well, yeah, because it saves
Sure.
on shipping.
Yeah, exactly. So I get the item. So you get a discount, essentially. Now, I'm not saying do that with every item because I know that does hurt, the small, businesses, I'm sure, if everybody's doing that. And it doesn't do it with every purchase because then I tried it again with a different purchase and it didn't even offer it. But when I returned that Blue Yeti microphone that I got in the past, it did ask me if I wanted to keep it. And it would give me, I think it was like $15 off or something like that. But that thing was such a piece of shit. Sorry, Blue Yeti, please sponsor us. But at the same time, it was just crap because you say I move around a lot, right? I'm always like, and I ate dinner, I ate meatloaf, and I'm like waving my hands around. I'm not butthurt by that, by the way. But
No,
I just wanted to
clearly
share that
not.
with everybody. Yeah.
That's right. Speaking of kindness, welcome to the Acts of Kindness podcast. A-OK, as we say down here on the Bay. Gabe,
Down
no
by
way.
the bay,
What do you got to say?
watermelons grow. Huh?
While it's, the 3rd of May. God, I could keep this thing going, Gabe.
Well, I had to wear my Star Wars sweater because it's May 4th tomorrow.
That's right.
And I didn't think this thing would fit me because I think it's a double XL or triple XL, and it's getting pretty damn close to fitting me. So that's going to tell you how well my dietary plans are going. I'm still working on it, but I'm bulking. Because then when summer comes, I'm going to slim down, and I'm going to look really nice. So,
Is winter's coming?
yeah, I've been bulking since November. It's a really good bulk, by the way. And when summer hits, like I said, you guys are going to be surprised. You guys are going to see, I'm going to send calendars out to everybody. It's going to be just me and you, and I'm going to look way better than you. You promise? Not yet. Although I bet my wife the other day, and this is how fat I guess I've been being lately, is that there was a habit, and we had to go film for a customer, and there was a habit right there next to it. And I hadn't eaten lunch. I didn't eat food at all. It was already like 3 o'clock almost. And so she's like, well, I was like, can you grab something to eat? I need to eat something. Otherwise I get cranky. And this filming's going to take forever. There was that one day where I was like, hey man, sorry, I can't make it.
Yeah.
My wife's getting a facial. No context. And we're talking about the Habit Burger Grill. And she's like, oh, well, we can just go through the drive-thru real quick. And I said, that Habit does not have a drive-thru. She said, no, it has a drive-thru. I'm like, I know for a fact it doesn't have a drive-thru. She said, I bet you it has a drive-thru. I said, well, what are you going to bet? She's like, you buy me food. I'm like, what happens if you lose? I'll buy you food. I'm like, you're already buying me food. I said you would have to get me food.
Right.
So she's trying to put something on the table that was already there. So I ended up, okay, well, if she said, if I lose, then I'll get you upside down hollow. in Halo Halo. It's that Filipino dessert, and we've had this like one cafe we really like that we go to, and they have Halo Halo there. And it's not your traditional Halo Halo because I don't like red bean and all that other stuff in it. And I know this is like has nothing to do with acts of kindness, but I just have to talk about it because I was right. I won. I won that battle. There was no drive-through, and I knew for a fact there was no drive-through, and I knew I was going to win. And she bought me Halo Halo, upside down Halo Halo, which I guess there's like taro ice cream in there, and it's like blended in, and then they put vanilla ice cream. Do you know what Halo Halo or this version of Halo Halo is different? So I'll explain what's in it. All right, and this is why you're
Okay.
gonna be like, dude, what the hell? All right, so it's essentially it's like a shake. All right,
Okay.
because they blended taro ice cream, and it's like taro shake at this point.
Hmm.
There's boba in it. There's these little fruit jellies in it.
Yeah.
Okay. And then there's like some jackfruit in it to make it healthy. Right. And then on top, all right, there's frosted flakes.
God.
Yeah. And then there's a scoop of vanilla ice cream. And then there's flan, a piece of flan on
Jeez.
top. I
That's
devoured that
decadent.
thing.
I believe
Yeah.
it.
And I'm not
That's
I'm not a fan for fancy things. Like I usually don't go for the fancy stuff. Like fancy donuts, I don't eat fancy donuts. I don't eat the donuts with the M&Ms on top, or it's decorated in some way to support your favorite sports team. I like traditional just pink box donut. Just get me a chocolate or glazed. That's it. Maybe I'll go crazy one day and I'll get like the cake, the sprinkled donut. But I don't care for the craziness. Just I like things the way God intended. Simple and clean is the way that I'm feeling tonight.
okay. Well, you've definitely turned acts of kindness into food porn. Thank you, Gabe.
Rock, show me the images.
Oh God.
Yeah. Oh.
Like somehow this whole thing shifted from being a podcast about kindness and random harsh truths to, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about the pound cake that I had this weekend. It
Okay.
was 3 layers of
Well, we can
chocolate.
spin this and we could turn this
No,
into a
no.
kindness episode. Yeah, because
There we go.
overall,
Okay.
I'm trying to work on myself. I'm being kind to myself. You gotta treat yourself nicely every once in a while,
Holy
right?
crap, though,
That's
Gabe.
I like too much. That's what my wife said today. My wife said, "You've had it too good. You need to suffer." That's what she told me today. I'm like, God damn.
I got one
But
better for you.
yeah.
You are the epitome of gluttony.
Oh shit. Thanks.
Using those big words. I was using those severance words right there.
That is pretty good. I like that. Man, throwing it back.
It's true, true. I learned that from my mom. She said that to me once when I was under the influence, and I just looked at her and just said, "Thanks," and just walked away. She just was,
You'll learn. You'll learn. And
yeah.
then again, she's
So,
like, he needs to suffer. That's
oh, I
yeah.
I don't think I'm done yet, but I definitely have hit some hard times, so to speak. Yeah,
Well, that's probably why our parents brought us into this world anyway. They're like, somebody else needs to suffer like I suffered.
could
So
be true. Could be true.
they could have done the whole other route. They could have taken care of me with a clothes hanger, but no, instead they're just
Oh,
like, hey,
good
you know
Lord, folks.
what? You know what? He needs to suffer in many other ways than one. We're not gonna make it that easy for him. He
No,
needs to
no,
learn.
no. It's definitely life can be fun. Life should be fun. But there are things in the way that just obviously get in our way. Bad things with friends and family, obviously, financial, political, religious. Think of anything else that comes up. It all happens. And honestly, we're here to talk about it. I know we've talked about this, numerous times, but that's what we're here for. I mean, hey, we don't have all the answers, but you know what? We're just two guys trying to figure it out and trying to find the right way from our perspective, honestly, of how we see things from an adult male who's in his 30s, an adult male who's old enough to buy alcohol. So that's all you need to know.
Put that number in the description.
Comments down below if you think I'm older than 5. I've already failed there.
That's an easy one.
That's an easy one. But
Give a
no,
$200
just
gift
giving.
card. Whoever guesses this right.
Whoa,
Yeah.
whoa, whoa! Coming from Gabe,
On Ian's
folks.
dime.
Whoa, easy now, easy now. But no, seriously, we have thoughts and ideas because we grew up in different areas, different lifestyles, different decades, and we're gonna have thoughts about it. And sometimes it doesn't jive with everybody, but You know, that's why we're here to talk about it. That's why we're here to hit us up in the comments. Yeah,
All
we
right.
got one. We got
We got
one.
one. We're gonna put that on our wall, right? Can you read that comment? I want people to hear that. The other people who haven't commented and maybe they're regular listeners,
And
I want them to see that. What was it about? I guess if you can't bring it up immediately, let's
well, I can. I mean, we're small. Look at us. We're two people working full-time jobs,
two
being
peas in a
full-time,
pod. Yeah.
being
Dude,
full-time
that should have been our
parents.
name. It's probably already taken, but two peas in a pod.
Yeah,
God,
but
it
acts
sounds
of
so good.
kindness just hits better. Just hits better. Okay, enough jibber jabber. Let
What'd you
me
say?
pull this one up. You ready?
Yes.
I'll leave the name alone. Stop using AI for everything, and maybe you guys wouldn't be so utterly irrelevant
Dang.
and
Wow.
unoriginal.
That was you guys.
Well,
That was you that put that on there, I'm
I
sure.
was
That was
probably,
you were just trying to get engagement. Look at you.
you know me, but that's just what I saw, and I responded back. And honestly, it helps with a lot of these things. We don't have a graphic designer. We don't have, a lot of the editing time, bandwidth to do all these things. So yeah, there is some of that involved, and that's fair to bring up. But as we evolve, I think us trying to separate ourselves from the pack, so to speak, is going to be difficult, but it is doable. I mean, we just have to find people that have our same likeness or thoughts and talk about it. Because, hey,
Yeah.
maybe there's people out there too that think that we're 100% wrong. Talk to us. That's what we're here for. We want to hear about the other side, the other perspective, the other harsh truth. So,
Yeah, and our content probably just needs to get better in that regard of like having people be able to enter into the comments and be able to talk about those issues. So
yeah.
I know we have a juicy one, but I know that we kind of have to ease into that one a little
Ooh,
bit. And I don't know
gosh.
if that one, if we're ready necessarily to talk about that. But
Good teaser.
I
Good
do
hook.
think that, yeah, and I do think that down the line we're gonna have some content that feels like it might get us in trouble. But again, like I think you've mentioned, it's not just a matter of us trying to rage bait people. It's there's a lot of stuff that we're ignorant to. Myself, I'm ignorant to a lot of stuff. And there's a lot of things I'm still learning, and I just don't understand why something is the way it is or why people comprehend something the way it is. I said something stupid the other day, and my wife said, and I didn't think it was stupid at first, but she was like, "You're gonna get your ass kicked one day because of what you said." I'm like, "What did I say?" I was like, "I
Yeah.
was just asking a question." She's like, "You're gonna get your ass kicked." I'm like, "Oh shit, okay, well." I'm hearing that from my
Well,
wife. I don't have any friends to tell me really, except for you. But we already talked about this shit. But it's one of the things where it's just, hey, hey, you're probably wanting to kick my ass, so you're probably like, you're waiting in line right
no.
now. But there's a lot of stuff out there. There's just like, well, no shit, you're ignorant to it. It's because there's a lot of stuff out there in the
Yeah,
real
and there's
world.
other twists on it too. Like, you know, somebody might be in an echo chamber about that particular subject, and some of it might be valid. Just a
Hmm.
small piece of it might be valid, and that's the little piece that they hold on
Yeah,
to, just like we do.
yeah,
But if we're being honest about what we like see like in the news, because I'm not going to listen to TikTok
no,
on politics and things like that, Instagram, social media. I'm going to try to get my news from the source. I know people are going to say, which one do you watch? I'm like, well, valid, but there are other independent sources out there. BBC. Some people might, look at other, what was it, Skynet? I think it was. There's another one. But it's
Skynet.
other, well, it's other countries that have
It's
their
like
view.
Terminator.
Yeah, Starlink. We've already got that going
Oh,
on.
okay.
So,
It's like Skynet. I think that's like the technology that destroys the
but I think it's
world, or
short
like
for Sky
Terminator.
Network. That's why.
Oh, okay. Well, they knew what they were doing.
Yeah, Skynet.
Sounds
But
intentional. Yeah.
you try to get, both sides. Like, you watch CNN, MSNBC. You also watch Fox News, News Nation, just to kind of see both sides of just how they're trying to talk about it. Because we take things at face value. If I'm watching a video about insert issue, I'm watching it. I'm drawing my own conclusions. And then I'm going to just basically see what I see and then tell you what I think the right thing to do is. And you might look at
Mm.
that and go, it's something. You might go, no, no, dude, it's this. And that's okay. That's what
Mm.
we're here to talk about. So I think just every once in a while, we just need to give everybody out there a refresher about what we're all about, you know?
See, I'm
And
a little
just,
different with that.
ooh, really?
Like
Like what?
when it comes to watching the news, I don't watch the news. I just kind of watch everything on social media, and I like watching a lot of the reactionary stuff, like people responding to something or react, because then you
Okay.
kind of really get their real thoughts. Hopefully, you get the real thoughts. Hopefully, it's not sponsored or they're just trying to play into some sort of persona.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy listening to other people talk about a certain issue from their point of view. And I see stuff from, if it's racist, from that other racist perspective, and then the other race that did it perspective. So if it's something racial along those lines, I try and get both perspectives. And also if it's something that has to do with sexual identity, then I just try and get also the perspective of that person that's being persecuted, and the people that are saying, hey, yeah, they're on the other end of that. So for me, and it's the same thing with Charlie Kirk, right? Like I don't really care for Charlie Kirk's content. I don't really support that stuff, but it doesn't mean that it's not relevant either. There's a lot of stuff where he'll pop up on my feed, and that's what's crazy about Twitter, man. My Twitter's all over the place. It'll be, and I kind of appreciate that, to be honest, that it's all over the place. You'll get those random like, oh, this person got sucked into a wood chipper or something like that. I was like, why the hell did this pop up on my feed while I'm watching something cute where bunnies are getting together, right? And just like, oh, look at these cute little bunnies at a bunny cafe, so it's that. But at the same time, sometimes I get the liberal media and I get the conservative media, and I enjoy listening to both because both sides can be a little crazy. But at some point, they're gonna make a good point, and you're like, oh, great, okay, I agree with that. So you can't really just pick somebody's, say, hey, this person, I listen to this person, and they're right all the time. This is the person, the source of truth. This is what I get from this person. Like when I listen to Alan Watts, who's all about philosophy and the spiritual awakenings and stuff like that. And I don't. It's not like, oh yeah, Alan Watts is my guy. No matter what he says, he's right in everything. There's certain things he says where I question, and I don't agree with that. But there's a lot of stuff that there's some really good points he makes. So for me, my news, I think that I get, or what I try and look for, is usually just people's opinions. Somebody like me, the simple person,
Hmm.
an honest man, just a modest dude, just somebody who's just like, you know what, I'm not out there fighting the good fight, whatever the fight is. I'm not out there protesting. I'm not out there. I'm probably the problem too. But people will probably see me as a problem. Like, hey, you gotta pick a side. What side are you on? What are you, a Mexican or a Mexicant? And for me, I'm just like, well, I'm just me. I'm little old me. I'm in a world, born into a world that a floating rock in this huge space with a sun that provides light, photosynthesis to the plants, that then just kind of breeds more life and more organisms, and life is just keeps going. But yet we're concerned about, are you a Republican or a Democrat? So for me, it just seems so irrelevant. And I hate it because it feels like you're picking a sports team. And I hate that because I also don't watch sports. So call me what you will in the comments. They're right there. Let's engage. I love it. I am who I am. And I can't change. I can
But that's
try,
okay.
but we're creatures of habit.
The getting your news sources from other sides, that's the whole point is you take full advantage of the social media side. You want to be able to hear what other people think.
Mm.
I do like to hear, I guess you would say, the independent side, because I just like their perspective on it because they kind of just show it in like, the way it is, and that's Vice. That's a pretty good, it's got some pretty good topics that come up from both sides. Really, that's about as far as I want to go with
Mm-hmm.
just really diving into all of that stuff because, hey, look, the news is meant to keep you engaged with shock and fear
Mm-hmm.
and happiness and sadness and nostalgic stuff all the time to keep you engaged. That's what social media does. That's what we're doing right now on this podcast, so you can listen to. So,
Hey, I'm not a rage baiter. All right.
right, right.
I'm a lot of things, but I'm not that.
But you also just need to say, you know what? I'm going too far down a rabbit hole onto something that's just going to consume me with either, I don't know, happiness, depression, sadness, reason for living. I mean, you have all these emotions. I guess just pick the one you want. So if you're really into just getting all fired up, get your blood pressure up, get hurt, get all that stuff, then hey, you know what you got yourself into. But I think at the end of the day, people just want to be able to have a normal, somewhat peaceful, everything can't just be kumbaya,
Yeah.
but somewhat peaceful life and just, you know, do what they got to do. Hopefully it's neutral because you can't be kind and good all the time because
You can.
perspectives are different. So,
You need to know who you are as a person. You need to know what you
right.
stand for and what your beliefs are. And I think that's kind of where I'm kind of a failed human being in some ways, right? With the consciousness to really make decisions. Is that I don't really have an identity myself. So shout out to all those people that are struggling with that. But I don't have a sports team. I don't have a favorite sport. And I feel like that's how a lot of people identify themselves in some ways, is that I'm this. This political party, what have it. I do this as a career, and you're surrounded by everybody in that career. So then it just becomes, hey, engineers talking with engineers. You have those jokes that you talk about and nobody else is gonna get. You have that it's just something to where it's tough being a person, especially somebody with a consciousness, to where you try and make everybody happy or try and see the good in everything, because you said you can't, I think, and you just kind of have to pick like what is good to you, and that's fine. You know, I don't believe in a lot of things, or I don't agree with a lot of stuff, like Christianity for one, and I know this could be controversial, but I've talked about it before. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I know that it's important for certain people and they need it. And it's not, I'm not saying they need it as in like a drug or anything like that, but there's the idea of community, and there's the idea of doing things like charity, right? And maybe that's what pushes you to do that, because you have that group that's also doing it. That's great. That's good.
Yeah.
But when you're trying to force something on somebody because I'm right and you're wrong, that's where it kind of becomes a problem. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think that people should have beliefs. I mean, people should have their own ideals, their
Well,
own
yeah, that's the whole
ethics.
point.
Yeah,
That's why we're
that's why
trying
we're,
to talking about it.
yeah,
Because that's the
yeah,
whole thing that comes into people's decisions on how they vote, how they react, how they
yeah.
live, how they die. And so,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, everybody out there, hey, we'll bring up topics, we're going to talk about it, and we're going to try to find the piece that's makes everybody understand what kindness is. And again, hey, we'll see you on the next one. Again, this is just a recap. This is all just getting everybody familiar with our of kindness. All right. Take us out, Gabe.
Oh, all right. Remember, everybody, it's May the 4th tomorrow, and well, I guess whenever this video goes out, we don't know, but everything is a-okay. And Star Wars did not go down the wrong path. Star Wars is still relevant, and there's a movie coming out this year, and